With the Olympics fast approaching, it's time to turn our attention to Olympics soccer, which a lot of the time isn't as appealing as one may think. Now, that's not me being harsh on the Olympics. No, it is. I'm harsh on the Olympics, especially this year. But I'm not going to get into that discussion. I'm going to try and take an optimistic point of view because where most countries look for the youthful option, maybe sticking close to some of the local teams, as Argentina have done, as Mexico will do, especially the teams that have already performed this year in two major competitions that happen to go on, the Euros and the Copa America, you will not see Portugal field Cristiano Ronaldo. You won't even see them field Bruno Alves, who could do with another run-out, I think, with the national team. You'll usually see them go for some of the local options, some of the players that are coming through the U21 squads that are playing locally for their teams. But in one specific team, that isn't solely the case. And that is undoubtedly the biggest draw in the tournament. And bear with me if you think I'm a Brazil or Neymar fanboy and I'm focusing all my Olympic soccer attention on him, because I will be focusing most of my Olympic soccer attention on him because he is the biggest draw to this tournament. Neymar is the man who is going to be leading out Brazil in the Olympics. Now, people are asking way back why Neymar was going to be going and playing with Brazil in the Olympics, because there is this sense of loyalty that he has to his country, seeing that they missed out gold in 2012 against Mexico, seeing that they were embarrassed by Germany on the home stage in the World Cup. And he didn't get permission from Barcelona to play in both tournaments. Neymar could have well and truly helped Brazil to go and obtain success in the Copa America, but he deemed it more of a necessity to play for his home country on the home stage at the Rio Olympics. So he is one of very few well-known stars to play in this competition. Yeah, I think John Obi Mikel will be playing the fatherly figure for Nigeria. He's a familiar face. Peralta, I think, will be playing for Mexico. But aside from that, you're not going to get outlandish stars coming up in their numbers. There could have been some space for Argentina's players that didn't feature as much in the Copa, but you'll rarely find these players turning up for this competition because more often than not, specifically if they are coming from a European team, they're already starting their preparations for the season. Neymar, after this competition, will probably be behind his Barcelona teammates who are well in their preparations, playing against the mighty Glasgow Celtic, only defeating them 2-1. Come on, the boys in green. Not a bad show against the mighty Barcelona. But let's talk about Brazil. So we're looking at Group A first of all. I'm going to go through these groups very swiftly because I don't think a lot of these teams pose an immediate threat, specifically when they are weakened in the Olympics against the mighty Brazil. So in their group, they have South Africa, Iraq, and Denmark in that group. Denmark probably going to pose the threat to them, seeing that they didn't play in the Euro 2016. They didn't qualify. They're still taking a more youthful approach. According to this ESPN article, their star player to look out for is Fulham's Lars Vingen Christensen, who was a bright spark back in an underwhelming season for Fulham, and he may be the one to pose a threat. Red Bull Leipzig forward Poulsen is playing in this team who plays his Bundesliga football this season. So there are a couple of decent names in there, but Neymar is going to be the man who is expected to just move mountains for Brazil in this competition. When you are Brazil and you have such a long and successful history in the world of football, you have to be looking at this as a possible way to paint over the cracks. And that's me not saying that as a positive note, because this is painting over the cracks. Brazil have a lot to do on the national stage. They are changing managers more often than I change my tie and bow tie collection. They need to have some sense of stability. They're going with youth. They're going with some of the more local, homegrown players, which in the past hasn't been a negative. It might be a good thing that they're looking away from the Thiago Silvas and the Hulks and these players that are drawing in such a big crowd and maybe focus on Neymar along with the guidance and some of the homegrown talent. But let's remember, Neymar was a product of that development league in Brazil. He has been an undoubted success coming in for these wonder kid status. And there's a couple of players that are coming along with him who pose the same potential. When you look at the fact is that they're playing up top, Gabriel Jesus and Gabriel Barbosa, two players, Gabriel Barbosa in particular, Gabby Goals as he's nicknamed, already linked to Chelsea. So if Neymar can help guide them along with his experience that he's obtained playing alongside Suarez and Messi, Brazil will be a team to look out for. Now, moving forward to Group B, really quick, going to predict this. Sweden coming in. They've already played in the Euro 2016, so don't imagine Zlatan to be waltzing out. He's already announced his retirement. Calm down, people. He's trying to make a name for himself now at Manchester United, banging in an overhead kick already. Colombia, Nigeria, and Japan. So if I was to predict, I'd look out for the teams that haven't performed already in a major competition to take this a little bit more serious and to pose some of their most experienced players like John Obi Mikel. Now, Nigeria have fallen by the wayside in terms of the world rankings. They're plummeting down the standings, especially in relation to their neighbours in Africa. Some of those teams seem to be leapfrogging Nigeria, who were once a very dominant team going back to the JJ Okocha days. They were a team to look out for. Japan will be taking it serious as also, but I think Colombia, even with their U23 generation and the way that they play football and the fact that you partner that with their star player who is Gutierrez in this competition, I think that Colombia will still have enough to pose a threat. I predict them maybe getting to the quarters of the semis. I don't predict them going on to win it. I still think Brazil are the favourites, but you never know. When you base a team, no matter what pieces you put in, whether it's experience or youth, when they fall into that system and they believe and buy into that system of counter-attacking football, they're always going to stand a chance, especially when you have weaker opponents around you. So I think Colombia could be a team to look out for going forward. Group C, we have the mighty Fiji, South Korea, Mexico, and rounding out Group C is Germany. Surprising. And they're actually predicting Germany to go through the semi-finals. But Germany, of course, have the ability to draw from a large pool of players, especially when those that hadn't participated in the Euro 2016. According to this, Schalke are going to bring in Max Meyer, their most exciting talent in this competition. When Germany are consistently proven to be one of the main teams to produce talent consecutively in the world of football, you cannot rule them out either. Even if they bring in most of their U21 or U23 players, they're going to be talented and they're going to know how to play football and they're going to be exciting to watch. So Mexico are predicted to make the final in this competition. A lot of people saying that Hirving Lozano, the flying winger, is their star player to look out for. They're not going to get the permission of Javier Hernandez to come and play 2 tournaments or a Cuadrado instead. They're going to look for Gutierrez, as I mentioned, and they're going to look for Peralta. And they've mentioned here that Tigres left back Jorge Torres, Nilo, fills a hole in that needed position. So they will be a team to look out for. And you never know. They may repeat the upset of 2012 in the final against Brazil. They will be a team to look out for. Group D, we have Honduras, Algeria, Portugal, and then rounding out Group D is Argentina. Staying close to home, very similar to Brazil, taking some of the more locally grown players in the Argentina Premier Division. One player who does play his trade in La Liga, Angel Correa, kind of small striker with skill and pace. He's very sturdy up top, plays for Atletico Madrid. He may be one to look out for, but I think they won't go further than the quarterfinals in this. So overall, my prediction for the Olympics, look out for Brazil. I think this is their year to kind of right the wrongs of 2012, somewhat right the wrongs of 2014. I don't think it will put Brazil back to the forefront of footballing dominance, but Neymar will put on a show and the fans will turn up in their numbers to watch him because he is one of the most beloved characters in world football, not to mention in Brazil. He is worshipped like a god there. He is placed among the long list of the Romarios, Ronaldos, Roberto Carloses, Cafus, Pelés of the world. So can he help bring them back to footballing success? Hit me in the comment section below. Are you going to be watching Olympic soccer? Let me know. Follow me on Twitter, Francis_Maxwell, TYT Sports. See you guys soon.